Okay,
Damn, I
yeah.
wish that went off from here.
All right, so it's recording. What's up, guys? This is Mark from DsGenie and Ben again, or Baby Obama. Let me So before we get into everything, so what this call is about is has been drop shipping with DsGenie for 6 months. So he just sent me so before me and him go back and forth, he just sent me the screenshots of everything. So I'm gonna share that with you first before we talk through everything. So the first image you see right here is the 6 months. So basically, he sold over $200,000 in 6 months. So you see that, but I'm gonna open each one by one so you can see. So first month, $18,900. Month two, 24,951, up by 36%. Month three, 22,000, went down by 13%. Let me see what period that is. That's strange because that's Christmas. Hello?
That was because of Christmas.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have sold for the entire month, no? Because I stopped for like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
No, I stopped like a week before Christmas, I think.
Okay. Let me just go through it quick. Month four, 31,900 to 32,000, up by 52%. That's sweet. 52% jump is huge. Month five,
Yeah.
36%, 48,694. And month six, let me see what month six is. Sweet, 54,000. Yeah, so month six is the biggest. All right. So yeah, so now that we shared all your secrets with the world. So what's up? Like, I want you to like just talk about, we talked a lot about the whole process and stuff, but like, what do you think? Like, are you satisfied? Like, when you got into it, like, right?
That's not even a question. I mean, when I first got in, I didn't see many proofs about DsGenie because, as you know, a lot of people don't have it.
Yeah.
But I was using HydraLister and I was using SKU but it wasn't really working out. You know what I'm saying? I listed.
Let me ask you something. What is the premise? I don't know HydraLister, right? So what is the like honestly, like what is the process? What, like, where do the items come from? How do you choose the items?
You basically can either spider off of people or you can like just go to a vendor and then just grab the item and list it. You know what I'm saying?
And then how do you choose the title?
What I did. What I did is I grabbed it and then I would switch the title afterwards and the price. So it wasn't right when I did it. What happens is with HydraLister, you can set a percentage.
Right.
So sales tax and all that stuff, because you put all the SKU grid stuff in there.
Right.
So it has all those settings. So it knows what to price it at pretty much. So I would let that thing do it itself, and then I would just go in and change the title. But I would use, I think it's title generator or something like that, .com.
Right.
I would use that. And then I would just find keywords and then use those keywords as the title. It worked out okay, but it was nowhere close to DsGenie because like I had probably, when I started DsGenie, I had like 3,000 products up and I was probably selling 10 a month maybe for like 2 months. And I was like, yeah, this isn't worth the time at all because this is not working out the way it should. So when I got into DsGenie, the first month, when I sold the 18,000, I only sold the other products from HydraLister probably 7 or 8 times. The rest was DsGenie. And then the next month, I decided to just prune out pretty much everything except like 3 items that actually sell from all the ones that I had up. So that's why my account is way smaller. I mean, I only have 356 items. Well, I have more now because I put up like 10 today, but yeah, I have something like that, and I'm making over. So I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. So what? Hold on. So something. Okay, it's working better now. So what? Like I don't. Why do you think everyone doesn't have the same? Like I want to be able to sit next to the people who complain that they're not making money to see what the fuck they're doing. Because like I remember when I first no, because I remember when I first made DsGenie, I was like, fuck, this is gonna be so easy. 100% of the people that join gonna make money. Me and my naive fuckery, right? But oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I supposed to not curse. But
No, it's cool.
yeah, but yeah, like I don't know, like I don't like being a motivational type person. So I don't. I'm not the like wake up guys, be positive, get work done type of person. I'm just like you're all a lucky motherfuckers. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the people who are like not making money, I want them to have seen me by myself with my $200 going down every day trying to figure this thing out.
So do you mean the people that are in DSG or the people outside of DSG?
People are in DsGenie because my hope is that from the people in DsGenie and outside of DsGenie, but seeing this video, we'll get motivated and we can answer some questions on why some people, like I think some people think too much.
Hell yeah, I agree. There's, because you see those people posting in the group all the time and asking questions that they don't need to be asking. That's why I always say just list. Like I said the other day, get up 200 to 250 items first before you do anything. Because you have that volume in order to sell. That's just in anything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they got to get those items up. I think people are just too worried about, oh, well, like people are sitting here like, oh, it didn't sell in 5 days. I'm going to print it out. And I'm like, no, you need to give it at least 60 days. Like I always give it at least 60 days because I feel if I can sell it one time in those 60 days, I can sell it over and over and over. So to me, it's worth keeping there. As long as it's selling, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't really enforce pruning all the time. I don't prune every couple of weeks. I only prune like every 60 days, like I said. And that's just me, and it's worked out great. So that's just my method of things. And then I use cash back for everything.
Yeah.
I use raise daily. I actually have to have someone help me today. My boy's going to help me after he gets off work because I've hit limits on certain companies. I can't order any more cards. So he's going to help me to order some new cards and stuff today. But, I think that the thing is that they're not using the cash back for one because they're probably scared. But I've had no problems with top cashback. I've had no problem with raise. I've had no problems with eBates at all. The one thing that I could say is that I think the problem is that when people are using top cashback, there we go. You guys hear that? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
I had another one. Mark knows I had another one right before you turn on the recording. But like I said, the one thing that I think a lot of people are having problems with is they're using top cashback. And one thing I outlined in the group is that I noticed that when you use top cashback, you cannot use it for raise and you do not want to use it for Walmart, because I think that's why people are having that issue where their orders are getting canceled, because I never had that issue. I never used Walmart.
So you don't use top cashback for Walmart?
No, I don't use it for Walmart and I don't use it for raise, because with raise I used it for a month and I didn't get paid. They didn't track it or anything. So I was like, screw it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just losing money. So I use eBates for raise and I use eBates for Walmart. And then for anything else, I always check the two to see which one is higher. Because sometimes top cashback is lower. Rarely it's lower than it is on eBates. So if that's the case, then I'll just use eBates instead of top cashback. So I think that's one of the main issues is that people aren't using cash back because, and also that people are sticking to Walmart and Amazon. I don't use Walmart and Amazon that much. I'm in other areas,
right?
And I think that's why I sell so much, because I'm keeping my competition low.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm able to, Yeah, I'm able to price a little bit higher than most probably. And because I have so much cash back, like for example, a product that sold today, I had $30 cash back. The other day I had a $200 product and I had $200 in stuff that I could use. So it was just free money.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So that's the kind of thing, like people got to get outside of thinking Walmart and Amazon, because these are two markets that are hit daily by not just drop shippers, by consumers in general.
yeah.
So you got to think outside the box, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
because you don't
saying?
even
So
get,
that's
like, I know, okay, like for instance, I still up
mm,
to this day 50% of my sales are Walmart, right? A big
mm,
part of that is just because my listings are so old that like you just can't get on top of it, right? But
yeah,
like Academy, like I use
mm,
like maybe 10% of Academy because I get
mm,
Academy gift cards for 8%. Now it's not perfect, right? Like the return
yeah,
with Academy is a pain in the ass sometimes.
mm,
But
yeah,
like I think people need to just get into it and see what works for them, right? Because like the
mm,
basics is fucking there.
yeah. Well, it's like you said, you know, where you start is pretty much where you're going to end up at. You know, because where people start, they figure out, oh, well, Amazon's easy because they have 2-day shipping. Walmart's easy because they have 2 days shipping. I don't want to work with other people because I'm worried that things aren't going to work out, whatever. I've heard issues, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, to me, the amount of cash back, the amount of money that you make profit compared to all the troubles that you're going to have outside of those two areas, it's still worth it. And honestly, even with Walmart, you get returns Walmart all the time. I'm sure I do. I know
Yeah,
I do
all the time,
for
all the
dumb
time.
stuff. I had a dude the other day. He measured a 15-inch speaker, right? Check it. I'm not even, he sent me the picture of him with the measuring stick. He had the measuring stick and he measured it wrong and it was 14.5. I was like, look, you're not measuring it correctly. You need to measure it from here. And I had him send it back, and he gave me negative feedback the other day, saying that
What?
he didn't give me my refund. So I hit him up yesterday, and I told him, I was like, look, you know, understand that your product has not even hit the warehouse yet. So I give you a return. I explained to you 2 to 3 days after I will give you your refund. It's crazy.
That's
What's
crazy.
wrong with
People are just
And I
nuts.
told him I'm going to report on eBay.
And what did he say?
It's
Did he
crazy. Like
respond?
you deal with stuff like that. Yeah, he said, "Oh, well, I switched it to a positive feedback now." He switched it. There's another sale. You guys hear
Oh shit.
it? But like I said, you know, the main thing I think that people need to focus on is they just need to, like, the first thing when they get in is list 200. Don't worry about pruning. Don't worry about your competition. All that crap. Don't worry about none of that. 200 items. You'll be fine. You'll be able to cover your DsGenie fees by then easily with 200 items up. And then from there, you can worry about pruning. You can worry about competition. You can worry about all that other crap. You know, I don't really, the one thing that I could say too, probably to save people's account, is that if they see a title that's kind of iffy, like if it has 2 brands in it, for example, I'm sure you've seen that before,
Yeah.
to make sure the right brand is in there and take away the one that is not the correct brand, because you can get in serious trouble for that.
Yeah, because a lot of people
So,
just put the brand just to get the traffic.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I had one, I can't remember what it was, but it was like they put like 3 brands in there, and I was like, hold on. I was like, this ain't right. So I went in there and I switched it. But it didn't take. You know how sometimes it doesn't take
Yeah.
the switching. Yeah, it didn't take, and then someone hit me up. And they're like, you have 3 different brands. I don't know what brand this is. I was like, sorry. Anytime there's any issues, this is one thing I could tell people. Anytime you have issues, anytime someone says something about the title, description, or anything like that, to cover yourself, I always say my assistant, my old assistant, messed it up.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just and by saying it's my old one, basically it's saying like I got rid of them because they made mistakes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing I could tell
That's a
people.
good one.
But
I
yeah.
usually say, like, when I ship something late, I would say my assistant screwed up even before I had an assistant. But I like that where my old assistant, because they're like, okay, we wouldn't have this problem anymore.
Yep. It's just like I said, I think people are they're too concerned like about returns and all this stuff. One thing that people need to understand is that in retail in general, Walmart just physically, if you look at that return line, if you sat in Walmart for 24 hours and you just sat there and just watched the return line, I guarantee you're going to see at least 200 to 300 people walk into that store and return something. It's just a thing people do. You know what I mean? But I think people are just so worried about, returns and all this stuff like that. Who cares?
Yeah, because you're not leaving the house. This is what drives me nuts. All this stuff is happening and you're home. Like, it's not like...
Exactly. And I laugh at some of the returns because they're just like, oh, well, I didn't like it, but it's 29 days in. I'm like, fool, you use this thing for a whole month. You want to return it. Like, come on, man. Like, people do stuff like that all the time, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because that is just a general rule. Like my girl, she told me the other day, because I have a product that I recently put up. I've sold this product over 50 times in a week and a half, and I make $10 to $12 per sale. But the thing is that I've had it returned about 7 times. But my girl told me, because she worked in retail for a long time, she said, unless it's 25% or more on the returns, don't worry about it. Just keep selling it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get returns. I'm saying people are just idiots. You know, so yeah.
Do you charge the restocking fee ever? And I only ask that because like eBay this summer, eBay is gonna like allow people to search for listings without restocking fees.
Yeah. I don't really do it, to be honest. Yeah. If someone is a dick, then I do it. Like if they're mean and they're just like, well, I didn't like it. I've only had a few people like that. And I tell them, oh, well, it's a 15% restocking fee. Because at the end of the day, that's just money in my pocket. So, you know what I mean? Right. But if they're not like that, then I'll just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean?
And do you think, I have to make a video about this today, but do you think, I don't think that's a huge deal. Like, this change of eBay is
I don't either.
Yeah, because people keep...
I don't either, because...
The crazy thing is, every time, over the years, every time eBay made it harder for sellers, I made more money. Mm-hmm. Because all you have to do...
Yeah, because people fall off.
Exactly. And I was telling Kwesi, maybe like 3 months ago, I was like, dude, I can't wait till eBay comes and try to fuck us again because people are going to fall off finally.
But that's the thing. That's what people don't understand. Business is business. This is how it is in any business. Always, and you just have to learn to adapt and move. And really, that restocking thing, like you said, if they make it to where you can put that you don't have a restocking fee, I'll do it all day. Because at the end of the day, I've only done it once. Yeah. And that was just because the guy was an absolute dick. Like, he just would not calm down. I was as nice as I could be, saying have a blessed day and all this stuff. He just going off the mouth. And I was like, all right, man, well, you have a 15% restock fee. You know, I want to say 20, but I was like, that was that, you know. But I don't think that it's really a big deal, to be honest. People make such stupid things, like they're worried about the whole JavaScript thing and all this stuff. I'm like, why are you worried? Yeah. Like, let's just see what happens and then adapt and move forward.
Exactly, and that's what I had this conversation. I have something similar, and I do some internet marketing for some these real estate guys down here. And that's one thing about the internet. It's just about reacting, right? Like, you're not gonna know. A lot of people ask me, like, would send me a question like, what to sell, or like just questions are like, how the fuck can I tell you? Like, I get to give you all the principles possible and tell you exactly what to do. But a big part of it is just doing it and reacting to what you did. I'm actually getting a tattoo of the word D-O on my neck. I've been meaning to get it, but I think I'll get it this week. It's just do the shit and like, It's just like you have to. Like I don't know what else to say.
But that's the thing, though. People overthink it, and that's why they're wasting time. You know what I'm saying? Like me, when I get a return, I jump right on it. You know, that's just plain and simple. The first thing I do is I check to verify that it's not past the 30 days, so I don't accept the return when it's past the 30 days and screw myself. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I just go ahead and do the return. You know, if it's Walmart, I go through the steps. Super easy to do. If it's somewhere else, I do the steps. You know, some are harder to do it. Yeah. Some take longer to do it. You know, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's really just staying on top of your customer service. Like you said in the one about losing your accounts. I will never have a VA ever. I don't care. My goal personally is to get my account up to $10,000 because at the end of the day, I know that 20 to 30% is going to go to taxes.
Right.
So to me, $7,000 a month is perfect for me to be able to say, okay, I can quit my job. I'm good. That's plenty of money. I'm not, because I'm a frugal person. I'm blow money, so it doesn't matter. Right. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the only thing I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to try to get my girl to work for me because I'd rather her be fulfilling while I'm listing, because then I can easily get my account up in a couple months to that $10,000 level and just level it out and just maintain it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because people, they have to realize, like, technically I did this in 6 months starting from scratch because I only sold about 6 or 7 items that first month that were outside of DsGenie.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I went from $1,000 the first month to now making almost $6,000 a month. This month, I'm looking at a lot more than that.
Right.
Just the way things are moving, you know, and I think it's the whole thing of what you said. Like, people are getting scared of these changes, so they're starting to drop off. Because I noticed that when I run a scan, and I try to go to people, I don't know if you noticed this, some sellers are dropping off. Like, they're gone.
I noticed that. Yeah. Like, I noticed that all the time. And, like, other people would get worried. And I'm just like, I get excited only because, like, one thing people don't realize, like, a lot of sellers complain, like, eBay trying to fuck sellers, blah, blah, blah. If there's one seller on eBay selling everything the buyers want, eBay is not going to lose any money. Because the buyers are still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I look at the amount of money, like, you look at the amount of money they make even in between us. They're going to make over $1 million just from us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't care. We're only 2 sellers out of what? Thousands upon thousands of sellers. Like, they don't care. They make plenty of money. They probably make over $1 billion a year. Easy. In fees. It's just a portal. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's what people need to understand. Like, you pissing and worrying about stuff for your one little piddly account, even if you were bringing in $2 million a year, they're not going to be like, oh, you're the best seller. No. There's people that have been on here for years that make over $10 million a year.
No, but even if your $2 million disappear, that $2 million is just going to go to another seller.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't understand, and they just sit here like, oh, well, it's going to change. The only thing that would worry me is that they say you can't drop ship anymore. That's the only thing that will stop you.
Right.
Other than that, hey, whatever. You know, like those messages people put up in the group talking about the whole global thing or whatever. I don't do global. I hate global.
Yeah,
I had such horrible experience with that. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's so much of a hassle.
And it's just like, what frustrates me about that global thing is, like, you'll have people that didn't even drop ship for 2 months yet, and they want to be trying this global program. It's like, why? They're just like looking.
But see, that like, honestly, and other things like Hydrolister, and you know, as they did in whatchamacallit, damn, what was that other company called? No, what was it called? You know, I'm talking about the popular one that everybody did, where they supposedly, DsDomination.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, oh yeah, use the global shipping so you can get more sales and that. But see, people don't outline. That's the thing that I think that people like about DSG, and the fact that you're the front runner of it, because you don't lie to people. You don't keep anything under wraps. You're not sitting here and saying, oh, it's easy. You're not going to have issues.
Yeah.
You're going to make $10,000 the first month. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that. You know, they did that at DS Domination. They lied out their teeth.
Yeah, and
you know?
I noticed that when I was in the groups, and I just can't lie because I've been lied to so much. And I'm like an idiot, like, all these people making money. And when I posted the groups, none of these motherfuckers making money.
I know.
And
Trust
it's just
me.
like, stay positive, it will happen. No, motherfucker, it's not going to happen.
The products that they had in their little hub or whatever, that thing was garbage. I was like, these products are crap. These are like from AliExpress for $2 and they're reselling them for like 20. And I'm like, nah, man. This ain't gonna
like
work.
all of this stuff. Like I remember when someone someone commented like Amazon doesn't allow drop shipping, blah 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 blah. It's against the policy. And I was just like, they'll have to shut my account down to stop me from selling because they're letting me drop ship. Like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing is like everybody always worries about like, oh, I'm taking people's titles. And like me, this is the one thing that people need to understand. If it doesn't have a watermark, or if you think it has a watermark, if you think it has a watermark, don't use that picture. That's the one thing I could say. That's the most, like, if it's a unique picture, I don't use it. You know what I mean? If it's like rearranged and all that crap, I don't really use it. If it has free shipping or anything on it, I don't use it.
What do you think it is a big, okay, why is it a big deal to take a title? Like, I think people don't.
A title doesn't matter.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why people freak out. Because we're not doing anything. Like dropshippers do not add anything to the face of the earth. Like nothing. Like
a title doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the picture and description. Unlike spidering, which they used to tell just take the other person, we're not doing. You know what I mean? We're taking it from the source, so it doesn't really matter unless that source doesn't allow that. Like there is one place that I use all the time. I can't use theirs, so I usually pull the items like their description from Walmart or Amazon because I know they're not going to hit me for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just things that you learn over time. Like I said, if it has a watermark, do not use it. That's one thing I could say, because even if people hit you up and they're talking about, oh, well, I'm going to tell eBay about you or whatever, there's nothing they can do if you're not using their property, which technically if it's a watermarked thing and that's a modified image that is technically under their copyright or whatever, then you can get in trouble. Right, you know what I'm saying? But that's few and far between, so I don't really worry about it. You know, because I personally.
Go ahead. You broke up for a second. What's that?
One thing I was gonna say too that I think a lot of people don't do, and it may help them with ranking, is I always rename the images. If there's 10 images, for example, if someone put up 10 images on their listing, I'll remove one and I'll take that image and I'll save it and then I'll rename it to the title and then I'll put it in.
Do you think
if it's all 10, then I'll do all 10.
Right. I don't think that helps, but I want to test it. I've been meaning to, I want to split test renaming images.
Yeah. It does, because the thing is that just like Google, eBay uses SEO. So if it's anything that has to do with SEO, then it does work for sure.
Right.
I know for sure.
This is what, I tested, I remember 3 years ago, I tested renaming images and the images showed up. It helped with Google image search, but I didn't see a change in the eBay search. But I want to test it again. I actually have that. I emailed myself maybe a month ago telling me to test renaming image, to actually test it and not just assume, because it's just a matter of 2 people listening the same shit, 2 people with the same either top rated or regular seller listen the exact same item with everything the same and just renaming the images. So maybe I'll do that maybe sometime this week. I'm moving it. We're moving the whole team into central office because right now JDL works at home and a couple of people work at home and a couple of people work in a co-working space. But I just got an office space for everyone. So when I get everyone there, I'll test it.
Because for those that use like Bonanza, for example, I don't have a Bonanza account. They like locked me out months ago, and I couldn't use it. And you know, same IP, they won't allow you to even try to get it. Same machine even. But with those that use Bonanza, it's a good idea because it uses Google, and people can technically search for Bonanza on Google.
Like,
so
Bonanza
it does help. Remember too that eBay also shows too.
But Bonanza ranks better than eBay,
and that's the thing
for some reason.
Yeah, and some of the products that I've sold, I'm pretty much guaranteeing that they came from Google searching that product because I have that listing title the same. I mean, the images the same. Yeah, because you got to look at it. You have to think about it. If it deals with SEO, anything that Google likes, eBay likes. Yeah,
no, I know, but
so if you're looking to,
I just assumed that like the level of traffic they get from Google wasn't worth my time of renaming all the images, right? So, but I like to test it. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, I think it is because just like when I was selling on Bonanza, I was selling a lot because I was doing the same thing. Most of my sales were coming from Bonanza. They weren't coming from eBay. They were coming from Bonanza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was because I had renamed everything. I did that because I know how SEO works. That's part of SEO. They want to see that continuation of the same word, not too much. And it's not too much with the images because it's separate from the description. You know what I'm saying? Like your description, like, you know how people do YouTube and they're like, oh, basketball 2017 20 times. That don't work no more. You know what I mean? The algorithm from Google, they don't like that. But if it's separate images, then it's separate titles. So it works. It definitely works.
All right, sweet. But yeah, let me, I want to cut it short only because my connection is going bad and like you break up a couple times and I don't want the video to be like all breaking up and shitty and all that. But
yeah, you've been frozen the whole time on my end.
Really? So yeah, now well, luckily I'm recording it, so I'm not. But yeah, thanks for your time, Ben. I'm gonna post this today. Those of you guys watching this, look in the description for the free stuff and to join DsGenie and to make money. Well, you may not make as much money as Ben, but hey, you can try.
Do it as a challenge. Keep up. Let's get everybody to 10K. I know everybody can do it.
Yeah, that's 6 months, dude. It's not like a lot of people complaining now. 6 months from now, they're still going to be screwed.
Yeah, because they're wasting their time.
Yeah. All right.
Stop wasting time. List.
Thanks, man.
List. No problem, bro.
All right, later.